Hello students! Today we're going to be starting the demonstration for the eating and exercise phet simulation. The first thing you're going to want to do is open up the phet simulation. Do that by going to the phet.colorado.edu website, or better yet, just by clicking on the link in the lesson, the unit lesson list. And it's going to require Java to run, so if your computer doesn't have that, you'll have to download that. It's pretty good program to have. It's pretty nifty. Otherwise, if you're using a school computer, you should already have it. Just go ahead and click the download button. It'll pop up. Do you want to run it or pause it? And like open with, and it should just open up automatically. See there, yay! We got it moving. Right, so there we have our simulation up. And you're going to notice a whole lot of numbers here. But before we get to that, I want you to pull out your eating and exercise phet simulation lab worksheet. You'll find that also in the unit lesson plan. It's better if you have a hard copy out, but if you just want to use a digital copy, that is fine as well. And that's going to walk you through most of the steps for that, and it's basically going to tell you everything that I'm telling you here in this demonstration video. But the demonstration video is meant to help you a little bit here. So the very first thing you'll notice that the eating and exercise simulation assignment wants you to do is calculate your average calories per day. And you remember we've been keeping track of our calories consumed every day with our handy calorie count log. And you can see that I've already totaled my average. But in order to do that, just all you have to do to calculate the average of this is to take your number of days, add the totals together, and then divide it by the number of days. Now remember, you're supposed to do 10 days, but 7 to 10 days is perfectly fine. Just make sure that you divide it by the number of days that you have written. So if you had only done 8 days, then add together your 8 days and then divide it by 8. You'll see down here that I added together all 10 days, and then I divided it by 10 to get my little handy number. So after you have your average calculated, you'll come back to this page, and then you're going to fill out some just basic information. So first, let's start out with, are you a male or a female? And I am a male, not a female. So click on the male or the female page for whichever one you are. And then it also has right here your lifestyle, your students. So just go ahead and keep it at sedentary. You spend most of your time sitting at your desks. It's going to have you put in your age. Now you can use the slider to determine your age, but that's pretty difficult. I would just go with typing it in. That's the easiest way to do it. I'm 23. Then you can input your height. I'm 5'9". Input your weight. I'm 155. And do not mess with your body fat percentage. You don't need to worry about that. It'll take care of that for you. And then the next thing I want you to do is to input your calories that you consume every day. Now, in order to do that, you could, spitball it and throw in, random food items and try to get to approximately your average calories per day. But the easiest way to do it is to simply just select this handy dandy healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It says 2,000 calories. Drag it and drop it down right here. And then hit the edit button, and it'll let you change how many calories you have per day. I'm just going to leave it at 2,000 for the purposes of this, even though my average was 1,792. The reason I'm doing that is because the last time I tried to do this, my person ended up dying. So apparently the only way I'm alive right now is, well, I don't know. In any case, go ahead and edit that, and you can put in whatever number you want. So I'll put in 1,900. 1,900 calories. It seems like a respectable amount. Yeah, let's just keep it at 2,000. So I'm going to keep it at 2,000 calories just because that's your standard calorie intake. That's what they recommend. That's what all the labels go off of. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to input what activities you do over here in the exercise log. And it's basically the exact same way that you can drag food over. You just pick up the food and you drop it on the plate, or you pick up the activity and you drop it on the exercise logbook. Now, you're going to want to think about what kind of extra activities that you do on a daily basis. So if you play basketball and you have basketball practice every day after school, that would count as an extra activity. And let's say your basketball practice goes for an hour. You'll notice that up here, the basketball, 15 minutes of basketball, it only counts for 15 minutes at a time. So if you do basketball practice for an hour, you'd want to drag and drop 4 of these over here. All right? Other activities that would count for this, besides like practice or playing sports, would be playing games with your friends, doing regular exercise like running, hiking, whatever it is you do on a normal basis. Let's say you walk to your bus stop every day, or you walk to and from school. That could count if you walk 15 minutes, just put over the little person walking. There's plenty in here that count. I'm just going to leave it blank for right now because I'm looking for some good results here. So once you have your activities done in your exercise log and your food calories set up, you're going to want to run the simulation. But actually, before you run the simulation, you're going to want to record these numbers in your data table. It's on the second page. The second page of the simulation worksheet. Make sure you do your prediction questions first. And then you're going to want to input your initial values under the year 0 column for your data table. So go ahead and find the data table real quick. You'll notice that it has years written at the top with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then it has weight, body fat percentage, lifestyle calories, resting BMR, relative heart strength, and relative heart strain. So let's go ahead and go over each one of those real quick. So over here we have relative heart strength. Red is weak, green is strong. This would be about average. In between strong and average would be above average, and beneath average and weak would be below average. So where it says relative heart strength, you would want to put just a relative value. If it's way up here, you put really strong. If it's down here, you just put average. If it's down here, you'd put really weak. Same thing with heart strain. You'd put significant strain if it was up high, or not very much strain if it was down low. I'm just looking for relatively how much it is. You don't have to give exact numbers. Now, weight can be found down here. It'll keep track of it as it runs through the simulation, as well as body fat. So go ahead and put down your initial values. So right now I would put down heart strain, very weak, or very little heart strain. I put heart strength as average. I put my weight down as 155. My body fat percentage is 14.8. And then over here we have our last two values: lifestyle calories per day and resting BMR. These are two important values. Make sure you get them down. Remember, when we talked about resting BMR, it's just the calories that your body burns on a daily basis to keep yourself alive. And the lifestyle calories is the calories that you use in day-to-day activities. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run the simulation. And we're only running it for 0.5 years at a time. And it takes a little while to run, but bear with it. I'll give you good data. So after you get to the 0.5 year mark, go ahead and put in the 1 column for your years, or the 0.5 column as it were, all the numbers. So I would write down 159 for weight, body percentage would be 16.7. My heart strength has decreased significantly, probably because I haven't really done anything, but my heart strain isn't that bad either, so, that's good news. Then I would put down my resting BMR as 1700 and my lifestyle is 216. Then you'd run the simulation again, I'm going to cheat and just hit the skip button. You can do that if you like. And then you record the numbers once more. And you will do that until you get to 2.5 years, or as far as the simulation will let you. Until you get to 2 years. At that point, record your final totals, and then proceed with the lab. Now, the second half of the lab, after you answer all those questions, you'll proceed to the second part of the simulation. And that is going to be asking you to do the opposite of what you did here. So you see my person put on weight in this exercise because my calories were higher than my calories used. So if I were to run this again, I would make sure that my calories consumed were lower by about 100. So instead of putting in 2,000, I'll put in 1,800. I'll reset these values, put these back to where it were. And I could go ahead and run the simulation once more. And you'll notice that the reverse trend occurs in this simulation. That's the basic gist of how you do it. The lab does a pretty good job of walking you through it. But there you go. I hope you guys enjoy this and do well on it. Don't forget to answer all the questions. We're looking for thought-out responses. Thank you.